Hey guys, it's James here again. Welcome back to another video. I hope you are all well. Hope you've enjoyed the last video talking about sleep. You know, a bit of a different one, but again, as I said, it fits into that topic of overall personal development and bringing ourselves to live a more fulfilled and better life. So yeah. Anyway, let's get more into the topics we usually talk about with a productivity video today. And today we're going to talk about a great book called Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. A real classic in the sphere of time management, procrastination and productivity, and a book that I'd really recommend you guys reading if you haven't already. So without further ado, let's get into the video talking about the book Eat That Frog. Okay, so you may be wondering, the strange title of the book and wondering whether you've got to eat a frog or not. But fear not, you have not got to eat any frogs. Literally. Yeah, so essentially the title of the book comes from a quote by Mark Twain, where he once said that if you eat a frog, have to eat a live frog, then you should eat it in the morning, because then after that it's the worst thing that could happen in the day, and your day isn't going to get any worse. So essentially what Brian Tracy has done is applied this principle to the thoughts of productivity, and the thought is that if you tackle your hardest, most daunting task first thing in the morning and getting it done, then you can set yourself up for a very productive day, and your day will be a breeze from there. So it's a really, really simple productivity strategy, but it's one that I can certainly vouch for. If on the days where I've got the hardest, most challenging task done, then once I've done that, my days have been a breeze, and I've generally gained momentum from doing that, and I've got a lot more tasks done as a whole in that day, and to a really high standard as well. So following on from that, how can we work out what our frogs are? What are these hardest, most important tasks? And you can start off by thinking, right, or just looking at what you've got to get done for the day and thinking, right, what is the hardest, most challenging thing to do? What Brian actually recommends in here is to use a method called the ABCDE Method, which is what you can use to categorize your tasks and work out, what the hardest, most challenging ones are to start with, what your frogs are, and then, what your B tasks, C tasks, D tasks, and E tasks are. So starting off, your A tasks, the most hardest, challenging, and the key ones, what you need to get done. And if you don't get these tasks done that day, then it will be, it could essentially be a failed day, in a sense that you've not met your goals for that day. So these are the things what you should get done first. Meeting a customer, following up on a sale, meeting with some key members of your team, those real important things what you need to get done for the day. A B task is a task what you should do, but it should be done after your A tasks. It's something you should do, but as long as you get your A tasks done, it's good. A C task is something that it would be nice to get done, but it's not going to affect your day. Again, if you don't get it done, but it's something that would be nice to be done, but you can put it off to another day. A D task stands D for delegation. So this is something that you could then delegate to someone else, which then frees up your time to get in your A, B and C tasks done. And lastly, your E tasks just stands for elimination. So these are tasks which you don't need to do, and you can just eliminate these tasks altogether. All they're going to do is just use up time, and then use up time what you could then spend on your A, B and C tasks. And say if you've got 3 A tasks and 5 B tasks and 6 C tasks, what you want to do is then categorize those A tasks, prioritize them based on which ones are most important. So you could say that your meeting with a customer is your A1 task, so it's the first one you need to get done, and then you could say following up on a important email with your solicitor could be your B task, and your A2 task, and then your A3 task could then be planning your next meeting with them, and then you could do the same for your B and then your C tasks. So yeah, you've got essentially A 1 2 3, B 1 2 3 4 5, and so on and so on. So it's a really great way of categorizing tasks, and it's one that I actually used to use for my day, and it's still something that I do use here and there now when I'm sort of trying to plan my day out. And then following on from this, what Brian does recommend is to plan every day in advance, and that's something that I certainly try to do all the time. I plan my week ahead of time, but then each day I'll generally try to, in the evening before I wind down, go through my tasks for the next day, work out what my A priorities, B, C, D and E priorities are, and try and plan my day out, have my list ready for the next day, understand what my priorities are, what I need to get done tomorrow, and generally it helps me to be more productive the next day. You subconsciously in your sleep you'll think about what task you're doing and what you need to get done, and then when you get up in the morning, you're not going to procrastinate thinking what have I got to do. you've got your list there ready to go. So certainly planning your day in advance every evening is something that I could highly recommend, and you'll notice a real difference in your productivity from doing so. And it doesn't have to just be, every day. As I said, I plan my week in advance every week on a Sunday. So today actually is the day where I'm doing that. And then also it's important to understand, what you want to accomplish for the month. So, we want to look at your goals list as well as your projects and think, right, what am I going to accomplish every month? And that's something I generally try to do, but more I do weekly reviews of all my tasks, but a monthly one is certainly something that I need to implement a lot more, because I think I will see a lot more benefit from doing so. So definitely Brian does recommend in the book to not just look at planning your week, your day in advance, but also look at planning your week and then your month in advance, and you can sort of correspond your tasks into the weekly and then into your dailies from there. Again, in the book, Brian does highlight the importance of the 80-20 rule, and it shows in all areas of life how we should always, try and focus on them 20% of tasks which are going to produce 80% of the results, and really, not to try and clear up the small things first, the easy things where, it's only going to provide those 20% of the results rather than the 80% of the results. And it's a key success factor, what Brian talks about in the book. If you can choose those tasks which are going to produce them 80% of the results, you're stacking the deck more in your favour to achieve the greatest success possible. So definitely try and focus on them 20% of tasks in your to-do list, them A tasks, them frogs, which are going to produce those 80% of the results, which you're going to see you go from one level to the next. Another thing what Brian talks about in the book, which I think is important, not just in task management but in life management, is considering the consequences for everything. Every task that we do has got a consequence, and we want to understand the impact of it on our lives and how much it could impact us in a good way doing it or in a bad way. So each time we do a task, he recommends, thinking of, right, what are the highest value activities that I can do this each day, and then what are the things that, what can I do, and only I do, that if done well make a real difference for me in my life, or make a real difference for my organisation and my work, and what is the most valuable way of using my time right now. If we think of those sort of questions each time when we're thinking of doing our tasks, or when we're doing a task itself, is it the most valuable use of our time? If I do it well, will it make a real difference? Is it a higher value activity? And is it your biggest frog of that moment? If we try and think of those things and we consider those consequences, we'll be more likely to choose the right tasks to do at the right time, and generally benefit our lives more and achieve a lot more and get a lot more things done. So yeah guys, those are just a few of the key principles from the book Eat That Frog. I'd highly recommend you guys to go through and read the book for yourselves, or listen to it on Audible if you've got a subscription to it. It's a book that really did help me when I listened to it. I think I listened to it when I was about 15 or 16 when I first came across Brian when I was about 13, 14. I was looking up about morning routines. And I remember seeing one of his YouTube videos, and I followed him for a few years, and he spoke about the principle. And then I thought, when I was about 15, 16, when I first got my Audible subscription, I need to listen to this book. I've heard all these tips, but let's actually go through it. And there was one that really did help me out, and it changed the game for me with my productivity and my school work, in my university work, and also in my businesses, which I've been running, as I said, since I was 15. So it's great for helping me to block out my time and understand what tasks I needed to be doing first, rather than those tasks which really aren't going to swing and make the difference for me. So yeah, really great book, and I highly recommend it. As always guys, if you've enjoyed the video, then please do drop a like on it. Comment below if you read the book and if you found these principles interesting and it's helped you to, sort of revitalise what the lessons are from the book for yourself. And as always guys, please do subscribe to the channel. It really does mean a lot to me, and it helps to grow the channel and reach a vaster audience. And yeah, it shows me I'm doing the right thing and producing the right content for you guys. If you want to hear from me each week on a Sunday, then please do subscribe to my email newsletter, which you can find a link to down below, where I'll send you out all videos, tips, articles, which I think will help you guys and you guys will find interesting. And yeah, as always guys, have a great day, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care guys.